I have a lot of clients. There's a lot of businesses all over the nation that have had their business model totally disrupted. So, what advice or what steps can you give someone that has had, maybe it's a restaurant or a spa or a hair cuttery salon or insurance or whatever, building homes? Like, you've seen some ups and downs in your career over time. What kind of things would you say to business owners or executives right now that are in the midst of it?
I think the very first thing to recognize is that nobody has ever done this before, and that you, by definition, get a ton of grace as we all figure this out together. So the first thing you need to do is take a breath and get yourself as calm as you possibly can and objective as you possibly can to go through the exercise of figuring out what next best steps are. The second thing that I would strongly encourage you to do is take a look at your core offer, understand the market that we are in. And if you're somebody like a restaurant where your leads literally have been 90% cut off, even if you have strong community ties, you're just not doing the revenue that you are, you need to be very honest with yourself if this is something that you can reasonably weather with whatever reserves that you might have or whatever assistance the government might be giving for small business, or if now is the time to perhaps shutter with grace. And it's a horrible, horrible decision to make. But what I want to be very clear about is I know full well that I don't have full grasp of every business that's out there. I have a good friend that's a restaurateur in Seattle that's very well respected. He had multiple restaurants, and somebody just said, well, you close down now, but you come back a little bit later and everything will be fine. And he said, I don't think you get it. Like, it cost him $3 million just to close, because he had payroll, he had benefits, he had rent, he had all these, vendors that needed to be taken care of. That in order to close down, it's not simply, I'm going to press pause and then start up again like nothing has ever happened. I know full well that that's not the circumstance. But looking from a marketing perspective on what next best steps ought to be, you need to ask yourself and assume, can I exist under these new constraints? In the state of Tennessee, we are under a stay-at-home mandate. That means if you are not engaged in an essential business, you are not supposed to be leaving your house right now. With that type of restriction, can your business as you knew it survive? The answer is no. You ask yourself, can my business with a pivot, maybe selling online or in some other fashion, survive? If the answer is no, then you need to say, all right, in order to take care of the people that I love, to take care of my family, to take care of the obligation, what options do I have to do the best I can with what I've got? And then you need to start your plan there.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really good, honest advice though, because I've been thinking about that. There are some businesses that might not come back, and you can be positive and optimistic, but you're right. If you're still paying rent and payroll and it's burning through all of your income and there's nothing coming in, it is but it's a thing that the whole country's going through. The whole world, it seems like, is going through.
Right. The world is going through. And the other thing is, if you haven't had an opportunity to be really intentional about your numbers, if you don't know what type of run rate you might have, for example, or if you don't know what type of pipeline you need to have in order to quote unquote survive in your business, you need to do a little bit of homework. Because as a business owner, as opposed to a hobbyist that happens to make money sometimes, it's vital with everything that's unknown that you have a very solid grasp of what your numbers are and what they need to look like in order to actually keep your business alive, to weather the storm.
Yeah. I'll give it just two things we're doing. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's what we're doing is, initially we went into, I wouldn't say sales mode, but we were still trying to sell in a way of looking at packages, helping people out, and they were like, I'm not interested in talking. So we shifted into sharing mode, helping mode, giving content, trying to help them with things. That's one thing that's kind of kept our brains and our psyche going. The second thing we've done is I've told my team, we got to get real creative. There are no sacred cows anymore. So what worked 2 months ago as our message, as our solution, might have shifted, might have pivoted, as you said. And to be aware, and I'm telling them, if you have an idea, bring it up. I'm not saying we're going to use it, but I'm thinking of stuff. Wait a minute, this is now a new need that wasn't there. So how can we transform our business a little bit without shifting the entire model? What becomes the need where it wasn't a need before? And it's a little bit liberating because you have to think and you have to stay engaged, and it's not just about getting new revenue or getting new clients. It's about being creative. I don't know. We're seeing.
Yeah, listen, I believe it.
Oh, no, I believe it's a Wayne Gretzky quote. Somebody asked him why he's so successful, and he made the comment that he always goes. Oh, no, the question was, how do you always know where the puck is going to be? So, you can make all these goals. And he says, no, I always go to where the puck is. And that's really where we're at right now in business. It's the idea of that we need to pivot, not panic. And the idea that we can still provide value to the market, still provide value because of our expertise. You might need to take inventory of what skills and areas of specific knowledge you have, and be a little bit creative, like you said, with how can my skill set benefit the market that we are in right now. But I'm confident that the business owners that are truly passionate of the service or product they have to bring to the market will be able to have an opportunity to share that. It just might be a different channel than they had originally envisioned.